Center. This is Brittany. How may I help you?
Yeah, I am. This is Ernie's. I'm here for my 9 o'clock appointment. Yat A Dunjo. I want to welcome everybody again. Say thank you for clicking on the video at this time. So, quick update. I had my appointment with the radiology oncologist, and looks like next week we're going to set me up for a simulation, which according to research is they run you through the machine to simulate when they actually do the radiation treatment. So that will happen on Monday next week. And then after that, we are looking at starting the actual radiation and chemotherapy together. The radiation is going to be 5 days a week, and the chemo pills will be also 7 days a week. I'll know that more next week. If that's the quick update, you're welcome to click off now. For those of you sticking around, I'm going to go into some telltale signs of how I got here, because when I was with the radiologist oncologist today, he was asking what took so long or why I waited, because I was telling him the signs that I've gotten. And this might be TMI. If you're grossed out easily, I just suggest you just give up, because it's just going to get down to the bare bolts of this, because it's life. It happens. I'm not the only one who has this story. But I was bleeding rectally for just off and on here and there for the past couple of years. Figured it was hemorrhoids or something like that. Nothing serious, so I didn't take it serious. It wasn't until the beginning of the year in January where it was a little bit more regular and the blood was getting darker. So at the end of January, I went to a doctor, and he again thought it like what I did. He thought it was hemorrhoids. He said, but we'll get a colonoscopy scheduled for you just in case. I'm 45. I've heard people say I'm too young to be in that realm to get an annual colonoscopy. Then I've also heard people say, why didn't I do it earlier? So it is how it is. I really can't get into the whys and this and why's that. But that's what happened. So that was scheduled for March, and then COVID happened. So everybody got put on shutdown. My appointment was postponed or canceled. They did, and just went about life as usual. In the meantime, also had some sciatica issues because my job was I wasn't very active. I'm just gonna be honest. With the children that were born, I didn't have the time to be active over the past couple of years, and my body started to show those kind of things. So the sciatica nerve pain was there, and that was the pain I was experiencing. And I dealt with it as best I could using Tylenol, ibuprofen, etc. And come March and May, so March is when everything shut down. April, we're all working from home. And May, my eyes start getting a little bit goofy. And when I say goofy, it was like one day my glasses just didn't seem to work, and I couldn't see the computer screen. And so I went to the optometrist. I got an appointment, and he tested my blood sugar, and the blood sugar was in the 400s. And he's like, are you diabetic? I'm like, not that I know of. So he recommended I go back to my regular physician. So I went back, and my A1C was 13 and change, I think like 13.7 or something, almost 14. And at the time, it was COVID. I was losing a lot of weight. January 31st, I weighed 299 pounds, like 0.8. So I was basically 300 pounds on January 31st, 2020. By the beginning of May, I was down to 251 pounds, I believe. So I'd lost essentially 50 pounds in a matter of a few months. And so that was one telltale sign. Well, I wrote it off as diabetic ketosis. So the doctor gave me some some pills for diabetes. I believe it's hemstatin or something like that. Anyways, he gave that to me. So I went about business, and he said, but just in case, he goes, since you're still bleeding, so we're going to go ahead and set you up with a colonoscopy, because the rapid weight loss also could be a sign of cancer. And at the time, I shrugged my shoulders like I normally do and thought that perhaps, I just thought it was diabetic ketosis. That makes sense. Blood sugar was crazy. My eye vision kind of got a little off there. And so we went about I started treating myself for diabetes with exercise. I changed my diet because at that time, we were home I felt like locked up, so I just let myself go with a lot of sugar. I was drinking pop like when I was a teenager, big 44-ounce Cokes, big slushies, ice cream, and I wasn't gaining weight, so that kind of made it okay for me in my head to keep doing that. But come to find out, that wasn't the case. So it happened that way. And then 2 weeks, they got me in within 2 weeks to a colonoscopy. And when I came out of the colonoscopy, I heard the doctors talking about a tumor. So that was my first sign that things weren't as normal as I had thought they were. So that was the beginning of this new journey here. And so I was talking this afternoon with my wife, and we were talking about just the things that have happened, how it got to this point. And going back to the diabetes, I'm ashamed of that, because that's something I believe is completely preventable. I know people have said that, but it comes back down to diet and exercise, and my diet was crazy and exercise was non-existent. I've since changed that, so my blood sugar routinely is normal. Normal being under 126, and it's like that every day, and I keep testing the limits. But I changed my diet. I stopped eating a lot of sugars. I stopped eating the complex carbs like breads and things like that. So and I've done these kind of things before, so it wasn't a big lifestyle change or anything. But the big change is exercise. I had a lot of exercise. I try to get in as at least close the ring. If those of you Apple Watch people, the ring closes at 30 minutes of activity. So that's always my goal every day, is to close that ring. But there's days where I'm actually riding my bike for an hour and trying to get, this is the best shape I've been in a long time. So going all the way back, one, I'm thankful for the diabetes thing. That's something I'm really thankful for. And then also the cancer itself. Even though there looks like there's hardships that are coming up, I'm thankful for that, because at the end of the day, and I always tell people this, you got to take care of you. If you're not taking care of you, why should anybody else take care of you? And I say that to myself. If I'm not taking care of me, why should anybody else take care of me? And I have to take care of me by eating better, and exercising. Because at the end of the day, and I've said this publicly at Gourd Dance, when Brother Travis, you were talking about that, one of my biggest fears, and I said it earlier in some other videos, losing body parts. And diabetes is one way to lose body parts. It takes you piece by piece if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't control it. And it scares the living junk out of me. So today I'm thankful for these ailments that I got, because it put the brakes on whatever it was I was doing, and forced me to change to what I'm doing now. And the 50 pounds, they're off, and I'm continually losing more fat and muscle. That's a whole nother discussion. Gaining muscle, losing fat, but I'm still like 249, 250. And it's just a good thing that all this happened, because it helped me stop and reevaluate everything I was doing, and gave me that extra motivation to do what I have to do to stick around for the sake of my kids, my nieces, my nephews, to be around as long as I can, to be there for their lives. And that's a good thing. So again, that's just the story of how things came to be for me to get to this point. And come next week, after the next appointment, I'll be posting another video. And through this also, I want to just post some of the things that have helped me cope with this. And it's not necessarily cancer related stuff. I've been a sober alcoholic for 18 years, so there's a lot of tools that I've pulled from that experience to get me through this, and I'll share some of those along the way, and those are things that can help everybody any time of the day, no matter where you're at in life, no matter what it is you're going through. These are things that are beneficial, at least to me, and I'm hoping that maybe that can help some of y'all out there with whatever it is you're going through. So anyways, thank you again. I really appreciate y'all. If you haven't subscribed, liked the video, do so. This is a brand new journey for me, not only with this health, but on YouTube. Who would ever thought that I'd be on YouTube? So anyways, we'll see y'all later. Y'all take care.